be feminine in a masculine world. Today I'm going to be talking about feminine essence and masculine essence. So the idea of masculinity and femininity has become very complex in our current world, where we have gender roles and they're taking over how we define ourselves and identify each other in such unique ways. Again, here we go again, trying to classify what we are on so many other different confusing levels. We've created so many classifications that sometimes it gets really confusing when we're in a relationship. So I'm going to try my best today to unravel the confusion of male and female versus masculine and feminine power. And I'm going to discuss what it means to be feminine in this masculine world, because it's not what you think it is. First of all, I just want to make a little announcement. So I've got so many notes on this topic, but I just wanted to get to this first. Just want to remind you, if you haven't joined me in my masterclass yet, which is Heal Your Heart and Reclaim Your Love Life, then please do and claim your spot. There's another one running again on this Thursday, March 12th at 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. So I've included a link in with this discussion. So just click on the link and reserve your spot. It's absolutely free. Come on board, join me, and learn about the one thing that we do as women that keeps us in heartbreak, and the 6 steps that you need to take in order to heal your heart and reclaim your love life, and the next steps you need to take to creating a truly aligned soul love. So join me on Thursday. So let's get back to today's topic. So it's really confusing to be a woman in her feminine power, especially when we're getting so many mixed messages of what it means to be a female and a feminine essence. So, we get the be strong, but not too strong, be confident, but don't be bossy, be a porn star, but I want you to be a virgin. It is so confusing. It's like, what do we do? How are we supposed to be in this world? So first of all, I want to really clarify when I use the words feminine, masculine, male, female, 2 completely different things, okay? I'm not talking about gender roles. I'm not talking about females and males per se, because gay couples, whether you're lesbian or a gay man, you can be the masculine in your relationship or the feminine in your relationship. That's the beauty of being in a gay relationship, because you get to play with both of those polarities. However, in a heterosexual relationship, it gets a little confusing, because really we're both masculine and feminine. We have both masculine and feminine energies within us. This is just the balance, the yin and yang. This is how we exist. Sometimes we have to be more in our masculine, sometimes we have to be more in our feminine. But we get to control how much of these energies we use at any given time. That's the key. We have to be conscious of how we're using our feminine power and how we are bringing in our masculine power. And that's what I want to unravel today, really. So again, we live in a world where it's actually kind of dangerous to be in your feminine power, because when we think of feminine power, it implies weakness, being meek, being mild, maybe being submissive. And the feminine has been painted as being, when the feminine wants to be in its power, we're painted as being bitchy or demanding or controlling or manipulative. We've also been labeled the temptress, the harlot, the whore. It's always the mom's fault, no matter where you go in any culture. Think of the way we express ourselves through bad language. It's always about the female. It's just crazy. And this is because the males of today have defined it that way. But that's not what it is at all. Actually, feminine energy is grounded, it's gentle but powerful, it's collaborative, It's interested in joining rather than dividing and structuring. It's about communication. It's about expression. It's about creativity and color and flow and softness. We don't have to yell to be heard. And it's more concerned with the quality of the journey, not so much the end result. And unfortunately, the males of today have have presented themselves in an insecure type of masculine, and that's why they define the female or feminine as I mentioned before, as the harlot, the bitch, but the masculine energy of today is an insecure type of masculine energy. And this is a general statement. There's lots of beautiful, strong males out there who are very masculine, don't need to yell or become bullies. But now what we're seeing everywhere is this real competition. Of course, they love competition. They're concerned with classification. This is the class structure in societies and our systems. We didn't do that. Males did that. Power tiers, big corporations, top 1%, get all the benefits. It diminishes that which is different and might pose a threat to their masculinity and their ego because they are insecure. And our favorite representative of an insecure man is Trump. Just put an image here. He is everything that is wrong with the masculine energy, and true males truly understand this. Our real masculine energy is grounded, powerful, but not abrasive and bullying. They are leaders, they are commanding, they are respectful of others' differences, and they don't diminish others, but they encourage and promote differences. They have harder edges, they're more black and white. They're concerned with finishing things, and they're always concerned about the result, the exit plan. But the insecure masculine energy feels threatened by someone who is secure. But secure masculine energy doesn't feel threatened, of course, because they are already in their power. They know who they are. They don't need to yell about it. They don't need to diminish other people. They are respectful and they respect differences and they respect the feminine and everything the feminine has to bring into the conversation. So here's the problem. We were taught from a very early age and believed that in order for us to succeed in this world, that we had to play the male game. This is not the masculine game. This is the male game. This is the male game of insecurity, power, and fear. So we had to change ourselves in order to get the jobs that we needed to provide for our families as single moms or to contribute to the household income. And in order to compete with men who are taking all the jobs, who are really leading the charge, in order for us to get a slice of the pie, we had to really harness our masculine energy and become males in the meantime. This, unfortunately, becomes driven by fear. And then our feminine energy becomes distorted because then we want to be feminine, but then we become loud and abrasive and manipulative. And we embrace all of those yucky qualities that we feel that we need to be in order to compete and in order to survive in this world. I remember back in the 80s, so I was in advertising. I was an ad exec and my clients were developers. So this is big masculine energy. These guys had balls. Developers have the biggest balls on the planet. And the women who succeeded, and there was like maybe one or two, honestly, in the industry, were considered ball busters because they were so strong and they were so in their masculine power that their feminine became distorted. So we labeled them ball busters. We labeled them bitches. We labeled them everything else. And it's unfortunate because we know we're playing this masculine or this male game when we really don't have to. And when we take this energy from our business days over into our relationships, this is where the trouble begins. And now listen, I'm talking to you as the females. If I were talking to the males, I'd be saying the same thing to them. I'd be talking to them about overstepping their boundaries as much as I'm going to be talking to you about overstepping your boundaries. So here's an example. So let's just look at a scenario. So you're a manager, you're in a really high, powerful position in your job as the female, and you are making decisions, you are, leading teams, you have an assistant, you have people who listen to you, and you have to create real leadership in your job. As a female, you've spent your life learning how to be self-sufficient because we were taught, if you're going to survive in this world, little girl, you better learn how to repair your own truck or repair your own car or change your own tire. You better learn how to be forceful. You better learn how to speak up when you need to speak up. So we take this, and if from our work week, when we're focused on being decisive, getting shit done, we're multitaskers. So we've got 10 things up in the air at the same time, none of them dropping, which is amazing. And then you come home and you meet your partner, and he's in his male. And he's also coming from a leadership position. And role. But who becomes the leader at home? What happens? So here's what can happen. One of two things can happen. Your partner can decide to submit, take a back seat, and just become more submissive in whatever the scenario is as you, prepare for dinner or get stuff done. And over time, he becomes more and more submissive, and then he becomes unattractive because then he's not in his masculine anymore. He is now in his feminine and a weak form of the feminine. Or he might decide to challenge you for the position of leader in the family, in the household, and start to push back and start to create arguments and start to butt heads and argue all the time. So both of these are undesirable scenarios. And who wants to be in conflict all the time in your workday? So now I'm talking to you from past experience, from your past experience. Perhaps this has happened to you, or you might be wanting to engage in a new relationship and you really just don't understand how to be in partnership anymore. What did you do wrong? You're still trying to figure it all out. So I'm trying to help you distinguish the difference in these essences. So once you understand the male essence and what he brings into the partnership, and then you understand what the feminine essence is all about, and how you can, when you harness your divine feminine energy, you innately understand, and you come from a place of being secure in your feminine, not insecure, understanding that being in your feminine power is powerful, and you don't have to yell, you don't have to be bitchy, you don't have to be conniving or manipulative or any of those passive-aggressive techniques that we've learned over the years. What does this mean, and how do you move forward in your life? So you can choose to leave the masculine at work and then embrace your feminine power within the role of a heterosexual or gay relationship, where in gay relationships there's more of a more free flow between the masculine and the feminine, because you're each taking each role several times during a relationship. But when you're in a heterosexual relationship, we tend to want to define the masculine and the feminine, the male and female. Those are male and female process, or the actual way of being, the things that we do. But the actual essence, we can control that more and decide to be in our feminine. So again, if I'm talking to the masculine males out there, it's up to them to step into their masculine role in a gentle, loving way, from a secure point of view, not an insecure, fearful point of view. So Remember, the masculine, he likes to be the leader. He likes to, he is result oriented, and he also wants to be your hero. The male who has a real masculine energy wants to be your hero if you are in your feminine. That's their role. They want to know that they are doing something to support you, and they want to know that you appreciate them for opening the door or making those dinner reservations or making the plans to go out to an event, getting those airline tickets. Let him do that. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be in the masculine and control all the time. And when you finally feel more secure in your feminine, he will allow you to be more feminine. And then if you allow him to be masculine, let him open the door, let him give you his jacket, if you're cold. If you allow him those little things that just help encourage him to be in his masculine, then you will see an incredible shift in the way you connect. Because here's the thing. Masculine and feminine essence are polarities. And in order for a great connection to happen, just like two sides of the magnet, you need to have opposites. That's where we get the opposites attract, and that has so many different definitions. But in the context of masculine and feminine essence, you have to have you have to have those polarities in order for a good connection. So, in order for you to have great sex, great conversations, respect for each other, allowing yourself to be in your feminine role when you are with your masculine essence partner will allow them to step into the masculine so you can relax, feel secure in knowing that you're appreciated, that you're adored, and that you are taken care of. That's where we want to be as feminine essence individuals. This is the energy that we want to harness within ourselves, and we can only harness that if we are secure in knowing that it's okay to be feminine. We don't have to assume the definition that males have put on what it means to be a female. We can change that, be in our feminine, be strong, be clear in our speech without speaking in a passive-aggressive, manipulative way, being clear with what we want in a relationship, and just relaxing and sitting back while the masculine becomes our heroes, does the things that make them feel like they have achieved something for you. That is what it means to be in your feminine essence in the masculine world that we live in today. For years, I was baffled. When I became married, I got to tell you something, just on a real personal level. I grew up in a household where masculine energy came from my mom and feminine nurturing energy came from my dad. So I got a real interesting mix of no definition because they each kind of fit the bill, right? And I was also never told I couldn't do anything as a female. I was never told that I was less than. However, when I became married, interestingly enough, is when I really understood what it meant to be a female in a man's world. And then I couldn't understand as I started to wake up to this disparity in energies and respect. When I started to wake up, I used to think to myself, why are we just following this definition according to what the males say? Why are we following their lead? We are the leaders within the feminine realm. They don't tell us what it means to be female. It doesn't mean we have to get boob jobs, change the way we look in order to be a more attractive. We are, just by the nature of the essence of being in our feminine, is what will what a real masculine, secure masculine will be attracted to. We don't have to change any of this stuff because that's not what hits them initially. Sure, we're trained to think that the sparkly, shiny object is something we want, but at the end of the day, those things don't last very long. What does last is that secure, aligned energy. Those are the relationships that truly last, and that's what you want. That's the one we've been praying for. A secure male to allow us to be a secure feminine. Masculine, feminine. See the interplay? It gets confusing at times. However, you get to decide what it means to be in your divine feminine now. So I'm going to challenge you by doing something this week. Now, if you're already trying to get out there and you're dating, maybe you've decided I'm not even going to bother anymore because it's such a clusterfuck every time I pick somebody. That's okay. I'm not telling you to go out and date, but wherever you are, if you're not dating, doesn't matter. What I want you to do is to really harness your feminine essence. Now remember, the feminine essence is not rude or abrasive, does not speak in passive-aggressive tongue or manipulation. She is clear, she is fun, she is colorful, she flows, she communicates well, and she aligns, she is collaborative. She is with her sisters, with her tribes. She collaborates with the masculine without feeling less than, because she knows she is in her feminine, divine feminine power. So I want you to harness that within yourself. I want you to soften your energy and see what happens this week with your relationships with others. You might find things starting to shift. You might find that people are approaching you more, asking you for your opinion more often. Maybe you are getting more looks, more smiles. Of course, it's springtime wherever you are in the world. You might be going into fall. It doesn't matter. We're shifting. So I want you to shift with the energy. Be flowing through the energy. Flow through your feminine and see what happens. This will let you release your guards, and energetically you're going to release the armor that you've built up, because that's the masculine, that's the warrior. We put that on every morning when we go to work. We have to talk to people. We got to get in our cars. We got to be aggressive. We've got to be the the ones who get in there first. So try to soften. Don't be a pushover. It's not what I'm saying. Don't be weak. Don't be meek. Don't have a small voice. Have a clear, firm, secure voice. See what happens to you this week. Energetically, I guarantee you're going to feel lighter because that armor is heavy. You're going to feel less anxious, and you might even start to feel happier. So give that a try this week. And remember, join me on the masterclass on Thursday, March 12th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Link is right here. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.